Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? Come on, quickly type your responses in the chat box. How are you all? Are you all right? Are you doing great? Quickly type in your responses. Okay, so I have a question for you. Tell me, how was your day today? So far, how was your day today? Tell me, were you productive? Were you able to finish your work? Great. So it's so fun listening to you all. Do you know I had an amazing day too? But do you know why? Because I had a very productive day and it was possible due to the support of other people. So I am sure you know that we humans depend upon a lot of different people for our daily and basic necessities. All right. So today we are going to learn all about such people. Are you with me? Are you listening to me? Show me a thumbs up in the chat box. Awesome. So today we are going to learn about so many different people. Now I'm sure you must have heard the term frontline workers, especially a lot during pandemic. Have you heard about frontline workers? Quickly show me a thumbs up in the chat box. Awesome. So do you know who are frontline workers? Do you know who are they? Can you give me a few examples? And also, this is a very recent thing, right? So I know you all have the answer to this. So come on, quickly type your answers in the chat box. I'm trying to read all your comments. Tell me who are frontline workers, or at least give me a few examples. Keep typing your answers, everyone. I can see doctors, nurses, police, and others. Keep them coming. Keep typing your answers, everyone. Well, that's great. You all are absolutely correct. So these are all frontline workers. Okay. So now let me tell you the meaning of this term. Okay. Now that we know the examples, let's look at the meaning of the term frontline workers. So, frontline workers are employees in an organization that provides some essential service to the general public. Okay, in simple words, they are key workers or staff, employees who provide an essential service or key public services. Okay, so by now we are all very clear about what the term frontline workers means, right? Now, can you help me list down a few industries or organizations that come under essential services? Okay, come on, think about it. This must be very easy for you all, correct? So quickly type your responses, everyone. Come on, you have to keep typing your responses and also tell others to answer. Okay, ask your friends to answer. All right, so yes, healthcare, you can type this in the chat box. Healthcare, transportation, food and nutrition are just some of the essential services, correct? Now there are many others like financial services and other energy related services. Okay, can you imagine if all this stopped? What would happen? Our lives would have been so difficult, right? Correct. So I hope now you all are clear with why we exactly need frontline workers. Yes. Now let's learn some new words related to the recent pandemic. Okay. Are you with me? Show me a thumbs up quickly. Awesome. So first word that we hear is, you can quickly type the words. Okay. The first one is essential services. Come on, everybody, type it in the chat box. Good. So these are services that are essential and extremely important or absolutely necessary. Okay. The next word I'm sure we all are familiar with is, come on, quickly, everybody, type it in the chat box. Pandemic. Okay. So a pandemic is a situation where a serious disease spreads rapidly and widely enough to affect the whole world. Okay. Next word is lockdown. All right. Many cities, states, and whole countries have been placed on lockdown because of the coronavirus. Though lockdowns have different rules in different places, they all aim to keep people at home and limit movement as much as possible. So most lockdowns also have rules closing all businesses that are not absolutely necessary. Okay? The next word is, everybody type it in the chat box, isolation. Okay? So to isolate means to cut off or separate something from other things. All right? So something in isolation is by itself. Okay? So a person, for example, who has COVID 19 is usually isolated from others to keep from spreading the disease. Come on, quickly type in the chat box and tell me, are you aware about isolation? Show me a thumbs up. Great. The next word is self isolation. Come on, quickly type this in the chat box. Self isolation. So, self isolation is when someone isolates himself or herself, that is, keeping away from people. Okay, keeping away from other people. This may be needed if hospitals don't have enough places for sick people. Okay, so someone may self isolate if they believe they have the disease but haven't been able to get a test. All right, and the next word here is, come on, everybody, type this in the chat box, quarantine. Quarantine. Okay, so to quarantine means something or someone means to keep it or them in a separate place, usually to make sure a disease doesn't spread. All right, so it may not be known whether the people being quarantined have a disease or not. All right, great. The next word is, type this in the chat box, flattening the curve. Come on, everybody, type flattening the curve. It means slowing down the spread of the disease is sometimes called flattening the curve. All right. So if everyone gets sick at the same time, the graph of the number of cases shows a sharply rising curve that looks like a steep mountain. Look at the screen. Can you look at the screen? Yes, that is how it looks. Okay. So if the spread of the disease is slowed, there are fewer cases over time. Okay, so the curve looks like a small hill. Understood? Now the next word is, I'm sure you all know this. Come on, quickly type this in the chat box. Vaccine. Okay, so vaccines are substances that prevent the spread of disease. They can be given in a shot, by mouth, or by a nose spray. Okay. Wow, I enjoyed learning all these new words. So tell me, which amongst these was a new term for you all? Quickly type your responses, everybody. So, out of all the words that we just now read, which one is a new word for you? I'm sure flattening the curve is something that you must have learned for the first time, right? Come on, keep typing the words that you heard for the first time. That's great. Good to know that each one of you came across a new word in today's session. Okay, so now let's move forward and learn a few more things about frontline workers. Okay, so let's see a few services that require frontline workers. Are you ready? Show me a thumbs up. Awesome. So let's see a few services that require frontline workers. Repeat after me, or you can type it in the chat box. Healthcare, transportation, government, finance, food, and many others. Okay, well done, everybody. You all have listed it down correctly. So, with this, it's time for us to revise. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. You have to quickly type your responses in the chat box. All right, and I'm reading all your comments, so I want all of you to answer. Okay, all right. So, the first question for you is, dash means to keep someone or something in a separate place, usually to make sure a disease doesn't spread. Options are prevention or quarantine. You have to think about it and then quickly answer. Okay? Dash means to keep someone or something in a separate place, usually to make sure a disease doesn't spread. What is it? Is it prevention or quarantine? Yes, absolutely correct. The correct option is quarantine. Repeat after me. Quarantine means to keep someone or something in a separate place, usually to make sure a disease doesn't spread. Awesome. The next one is dash is a situation where a serious disease spreads rapidly and widely enough to affect the whole world. Options are pandemic or epidemic. Don't get confused here, all right? Pay attention, try to understand, and quickly answer your responses. Absolutely correct. It is pandemic. Quickly repeat after me. Pandemic is a situation where a serious disease spreads rapidly and widely enough to affect the whole world. Great. The next one is dash is when someone isolates himself or herself, that is keeping away from other people. Is it isolation or self isolation? Think about it and quickly type your answers. Come on, I'm reading all your comments. I want all of you to answer. Absolutely correct. It is self isolation. Brilliant. So repeat after me. Self isolation is when someone isolates himself or herself, keeping away from other people. Great. The next one is dash are employees in an organization that provides some essential service to the general public. Options are community helper or frontline workers. We read this and we know the answers, right? Come on, all of you, think about it and quickly type your answers in the chat box. Dash are employees in an organization that provides some essential service to community to the general public. The options are community helper or frontline workers. Absolutely correct. It is frontline workers. So frontline workers are employees in an organization that provides some essential service to the general public. Very good. The next one is dash are services that are extremely important or absolutely necessary. Options are essential services or welfare services. What is it? Quickly type your answers, everyone. Is it essential services or welfare services? That's right. The correct answer is essential services. Repeat after me. Essential services are services that are extremely important or absolutely necessary. All right. Well done, everybody. All of you have performed so well today, and I am really proud of each and every one of you. Okay. So, with this, it's time for us to test our knowledge. And I'm sure you all know what we have to do, right? Okay. So, I am sharing a link in the chat box. You have to click on the link, open the form, fill in all your details like standard deviation, everything that is mentioned. Okay. Fill in all your details. And then you have to choose the correct answers. Okay, once done, click on the submit button. All right, and after submitting the form, show me a thumbs up in the chat box so that I know you have finished the task. Okay, I repeat, there is a link in the chat box. Click on the link, then fill all your details, and then choose the correct options. Okay, read the questions carefully, choose the correct answers, and then make sure you submit the form. Okay, once done, show me a thumbs up. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to finish it. All right, once you're done filling the form, please show me a thumbs up here in the chat box. I hope you all are filling the form. All right, choose the correct answers and then submit the form. Later, show me a thumbs up here in the chat box. Awesome. Great. Well done, students. You all did really well today. So make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with others. All right. I'll see you soon in the next episode. Bye, everyone.